The search for Michael Vaughan continues. Michael went missing from his neighborhood in Fruitland in July of 2021. He was just 5 years old at the time. Law enforcement has spent the last year and a half investigating. But the Fruitland police chief says a credible tip led investigators to a home near Michael's neighborhood this weekend.
Crews are back out in Fruitland today searching for Michael Vaughan. Police believe his remains are in the backyard of a Fruitland home, and today is the 6th day crews are excavating the yard. Crews could be at the house on Red Wing Street for another week. This house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughan's home.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Stacey Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondras' home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wondras' residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
Evidence suggests that the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Stacey Wondra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Stacey Wondra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. And Stacey Wondra, 30 years old, a male. Stacey was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacey has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Brandon Shurtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacey Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrien Lucienne, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrien was staying with Sarah and Stacey Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrien has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Missing PNW Crimes Revisited. My name is Samantha. It has been 1,562 days since Michael Vaughan's abduction. If you have any information about Michael Vaughan and his abduction, please call the Fruitland Police tip line at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. There are 4 named suspects in Michael Vaughan's abduction and murder, and Stacey Wondra, if you don't know it already, has been arrested in Arizona. And we're going to go over everything today, all the suspects. Let's say hi to everybody in chat. Again, if you have a tip, please give it to Fruitland Police, 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Adrien Lucienne, and Brandon Shurtliff have all been named suspects in the Michael Vaughan abduction. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for always supporting Monkey, for being a part of Monkey's Army, for supporting the family during a difficult time. Even though charges have been released and Stacey Wondra will be charged when he gets down to Idaho, it's still a very difficult time for the family, and I know they appreciate everybody being here. Thank you guys always for being here, supporting me and Missing PNW. Let's see who we got in the house. Alicia, thank you for being, Alicia, thank you for being here. My beautiful moderator, Halo Art, thank you so much for being here. Opal, thank you so much. I absolutely loved our conversation today. Thank you for the information. I just absolutely, positively love my viewers, love my chat, because they really are amazing. All they want is to bring awareness for Michael. All they want is justice. And I'm just constantly getting messages, and Brandy and Tyler are always being sent things and prayers, and it's amazing. Thank you, moderators, for coming in today. Pam Fogel, thank you for being here. Slim Pickens in the house, thank you so much for being here. Red Bull Girl, that almost had me tongue-tied. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Justice for Michael and his family. Well, we appreciate you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everybody. Jemima in the house, thank you for being here. And my beautiful, pretty assessor is in the house. Eve Hickman, thank you so much for being here, for always sharing Monkey. We love you so much here at Missing PNW. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for coming in. I have a date with my grandbabies today, this afternoon. So we're going to hit this hard and fast today. So just letting you guys know. Beverly Lawyer, thank you so much for being here. Always supporting the Vaughan family and Monkey. Thank you so much. Sarah in the house. Thank you, my beautiful moderator, for being here. Love you so much. Chicky in the house, and it is so very sad. Thank you for being here. Kelly Thompson is here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Opal always sends beautiful messages in chat, so let's read this one. In case nobody told you today, you're loved, you're needed, you are alive, and for a reason. You are stronger than you think. You're going to get through this. Don't give up. You matter. And what a beautiful, perfect thing to say, especially when we're talking about the Vaughan family and the strength that they're going to need to push forward and get through this, because they are going to be going through a lot, especially after Stacey gets back. All right. I did throw up some links. There's the family meal train that is pinned. You can click on that. Donate anything you can. Don't worry if you can't. It's a meal train to help the family. I also added Michael Vaughan's Facebook group that I run. I would love to have you guys there. I post my information from all my lives in that Facebook group, and the information that I have today, trust me, especially if you're a creator, you're going to want some of this information. So click that link. Join us over there at Michael Vaughan Crimes Revisited. And let's see. Rhonda in the house, thank you so much for coming in. All right, you guys, we got a lot of information and lots of stuff to read. Let me see. Ah, Shannon became a new member. Thank you so much. Now we got to dance. Thank you so much, Shannon, for joining. I really appreciate that. Always love to have new members in the house. Hot Mess is here. Thank you for showing up. Love to see you. All right. Blueberry is here. So in case you didn't know it, Stacey Wondra on October 30th, 2025 was booked and arrested after being released from a Phoenix, Arizona prison for the murder, kidnapping, and destruction of evidence by Maricopa County in Arizona. And it was a fugitive warrant, fugitive of justice, which we will be going over shortly. Amen for that. The first of many. I really hope. Oh my gosh, got another new member. Thank you so much. Thank you for becoming a Pacific Northwest Whisper. I love you so much, Road. Thank you for being here. And Opal, thank you so much for sending a super chat. That is amazing. Thank you. Andy Vaughn is in the house. Good to see you, my love. Nice to see you here. I still hope that you're feeling good, still feeling healthy, still relaxing, and enjoying your time with your family. I know you missed those beautiful babies so very much while you were in the hospital in Utah. Thank you for joining us today. Big O in the house. Thank you for coming in. You guys are just so good to me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of the support. Linda, thank you for being here. So good to see you. All right, you guys. Like I said, we got lots of information to go over today. And like I said, Stacey Wondra arrested for the murder, kidnapping, and destruction of evidence in Phoenix, Arizona, awaiting extradition back to Idaho. We're going over everything. Before we get to all of that, how many of you guys knew that Stacey Wondra whose sentence ended Thursday, had petitioned a federal judge for early release in a handwritten motion filed on October 7th. He's always doing things handwritten, trying to sue all of us creators for, doing lives on him and everything else. And we welcome those lawsuits because why? He'd have to talk about it, right? He'd have to talk about Michael, talk about the case and prove us wrong, and he can't do it. But he filed a handwritten motion on October 7th claiming that he has demonstrated exceptionally good conduct while incarcerated. He is reportedly expected to be extradited back to Idaho. He demonstrated exceptionally good conduct while incarcerated. He really thought he was going to get away with this, you guys, and even tried to get out early. Sorry, Stacey. That's not working. Not working. Brandy says here, sending everyone love, prayers, and wellness. All of your kindness and support and prayers are so humbling. Thank you, everyone, from our family to yours. We love you, Brandy. We absolutely adore you. Thank you so much for trusting me to handle Michael's case, being able to covering it, for being my friend, for calling me part of your family, and most of all, for always telling me I'm never a bother. I don't contact her as much as I would like to because I always feel like I'm bothering, but she's always telling me, you're not bothering me. Stop saying that. So I just really appreciate her so much. I love you, hun. So we are going over court documents. Court documents. Now, this is all really fine print. One of the reasons why I do post things in my Michael Vaughan Case Revisited Facebook group, if you want this, if you want to download it, see it for yourself, read it for yourself, and every little tiny word, I'm going to go over part of it. I'm not going to go over all of it. It's long. I don't want to, well, not that I would be boring you, but it is long. Some of it does really matter. Some of it doesn't. Now, this is basically a fugitive warrant to hold Stacey before he's extradited. So what does this say up at the top? Got to use my phone here because this is such fine print. Fugitive rights, Maricopa County Superior Court, initial appearance for fugitive. And they're calling him a fugitive because he's in Arizona, and Idaho, Fruitland, Idaho wants him in Idaho. True full name of fugitive, Stacey James Wondra. You have been arrested as a result of an outstanding warrant for your arrest issued by the county of Payette in the demanding state of Idaho for the criminal offense of murder in the first degree, kidnapping in the second degree, destruction of evidence. The demanding state has asked that you be returned to the state to answer criminal charges which are pending there. Charges are pending for Stacey. When he gets back to Idaho, he will be read his rights and charged. You have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing and at your own expense. So they're not giving him a court-appointed attorney in Arizona. Since extradition is a civil matter and has no hearing as to your guilt or innocence on the criminal charges, the court does not appoint an attorney to represent you, which I actually found very interesting. You have the right to test the legality of your incarceration in this state by filing a petition. And this is a writ of, what is it? Habeas corpus or something like that in the Superior Court of Arizona. Again, may hire an attorney at your own expense to assist you in filing the writ, but the court does not appoint an attorney for you. And I believe his bail was set for like $1 million if he wanted to pay for it, which you guys will hear because I'm going to play the video of Stacey Wondra waiving his extradition because he waived it. You have the right before you are returned to the demanding state to require the government of this state to issue a warrant of extradition, which will result in being returned to the demanding state where criminal charges are pending. The Arizona governor has 90 days from the date of your arrest to issue the extradition warrant. So that is basically what this is about. It says underneath that if the court determines there is probable cause to believe you are a fugitive of justice, a fugitive complaint and warrant will be issued pursuant to, and there's all the codes. Upon issuance of the fugitive complaint and warrant, this court may commit you to custody for initial period of 30 days, which may be extended for an additional 60 days in order to allow the issuance of the Arizona governor's warrant pursuant with all of the codes. The 90th day will be noted. And then it just goes on to talk about a few other things. But right now, we're going to go over more of what the court document said. It just talks about the governor, the pre-signed waiver, the waiver of extradition, and then there's his mugshot, which I got another mugshot to share with you guys today. So stay tuned for that. And not who you would think it was on. This here, in the Superior Court Fugitive of Justice Court, State of Arizona, County of Maricopa, this is a notice. Unless a specific form is sealed or ordered redacted by the court, all forms are public record of this court of clerk at this time. They are provided to the court and will be released in their entirety upon request. The defendant's name, Stacey James Wondra, gives general information, mentions the fugitive of justice. Offense location isn't listed. Offense date, June 11th, 2025. I think that is telling us, since that is in June of 2025, and he was actually arrested down in Arizona on October 30th, that they've had this warrant ready to serve Stacey Wondra for quite a while. I could be wrong. But as me and my admin went over this information, that is, and my admin Heidi, I love her to death. But as we go through this, that is what we're kind of understanding. Could be wrong, like I said, don't know for a fact. The arrest location was in the FCI Phoenix The date was October 30th of 2025 at 10:30. And then it shows probable cause statement. It asks, were fingerprints taken of the arrest person? It says no. It goes over a bunch of questions like whether or not he was in the military. It says no. Was the defendant under the influence of alcohol or drugs at the time of the offense? It says no. Do you need the court to provide an interpreter? It says no. So basically kind of just like a little questionnaire and stating that they're going to release any and all information. And then there is this here, which is the defendant's name, Stacey James Wondra, circumstances of the offense. It just check if applicable. Sorry about that. Did the offense involve a child victim? It's marked no. So I didn't really understand that. It mentions his date of birth, his booking number, case number. Nothing's checked underneath the domestic violence issues. Crimes against person, relationship of defendant to victim. Nothing's really stated here in all actuality. And then, excuse me, we have this. Excuse my cough. I am so sorry. I am still getting over like the nastiest flu ever. I've had it for going on weeks. This is the defendant's name, Stacey James Wondra, date of birth, booking, case number, form 5, fugitive arrest. This form is to be used when the arrested person is a fugitive of justice. The arresting officer must complete this form and submit it with a form 5. The arresting officer is the used for the purposes of this form. Let's see. Arrest person's name, Stacey James Wondra. Place he was arrested, FCI Phoenix, which was the federal prison that he was staying in for unrelated charges on Michael. Gives the officer's name, the time, the serial number, and then says underneath here, the officer identified the arrestee as the fugitive in the following way. Include any admissions or statements by the officer, FCI Phoenix and Payette County Sheriff identified subject as a fugitive. So this is basically, all of this paperwork is just basically calling him a fugitive because he's in another state and he needs to be extradited back to Fruitland. And this is what they have to file in order to arrest him in Arizona before said extradition. I love court documents. Thank you so much, Samantha. ICU. Guess what? I do not. I do not like them. I do not understand them, but thank God I have somebody that does understand them. Bless her heart, because when I don't understand something, I'm like, Heidi, what does this mean? This, to me, the words are like the teacher and mom that talk on Charlie Brown cartoons. Womp, 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 womp. My brain doesn't. I will read it to you guys. I will tell you how it goes. Not that I'm understanding a damn thing. It has to be explained to me first. So there's that. And here I am, working crimes on my show. I think it's hilarious. But I do have people that understand them. They do explain it to me. This is my beautiful moderator here. We love you so much here at Missing PNW. Thank you so much for being my friend and always, always, always being there for Kyron and Michael. I love you so much. Wendy in the house. Good to see you, hun. ICU, thank you for being here. Okay, so there's that paperwork. Okay, now, let's go over the video. I'm going to share my screen. This is Stacey Wondra in court waiving the extradition. You'll hear everything. It's really blurry. We had to blow up the video, but you'll hear all the words. The video that came out was this little bitty tiny little square. So it's blurry, but you'll get the gist of it. And let me just blow this up real quick. This was just a small video that I did. This was October 30th, 2025. 5:08 p.m. Maricopa County Superior Court. Let's play this.
Mr. Wondra, go ahead, state your name.
Stacey James Wondra.
And Mr. Wondra, what is your date of birth?
9/12/92.
Thank you. All right, so you are here this evening because the Idaho issued a warrant for your arrest.
Correct.
All right.
Your Honor, so I have a question relating. So I have had no way to contact any relatives or anybody or any legal counsel to ask a recommendation of what I should do on this.
Okay, so we have information, and then you can make a choice, or you can choose not to make a choice.
Okay.
So we'll get there. All right. And you said your date of birth was September 12th, 1992. Is that correct? All right. All right. As I mentioned, a warrant for your arrest has been issued by the state of Idaho. That state wants you back on its warrant. Before court, you were given some paperwork on a big flight laminated card, which you had. Did you read that paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. As I stated, you have a warrant from the state of Idaho. You have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Idaho within 30 days. Or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states, that's Arizona and Idaho, before you are sent back to the state of Idaho. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for the requesting state to come for you. That 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set your hearing for November 17th at 1:30 p.m. in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail, which in this case would be a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $1 million.
A cash-only appearance bail for $1 million? We know Stacey Wondra ain't got $1 million in cash.
If you are unable to post your bail, you would be held in custody during that time or until another judge modifies your bail. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you to Idaho. That process could take up to 90 days. So you have a choice to make at this point. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be held non-bondable here in Arizona for a period of 30 days, or you can you can go ahead with your extradition hearing on November 17th at 1:30.
I'll wait the 30 days for them to come get me.
Okay. All right.
So he just chose to wait in Arizona and have Payette County and Idaho police come and get him from Idaho. So that's how he will be extradited back to Payette County. Fruitland, Idaho, is they will go and pick him up, and they have within 30 days to go. And I mean, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be at the end of the 30-day, but it has to be within 30-day period of time.
I understand at this time you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you some questions as I am making a record of this proceeding. Did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you do not have to sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the...
So the governors of both states, Arizona and Idaho, have to sign this warrant for him to be extradited back to Idaho.
right to bail?
Yes.
Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
And you're hearing him. Nobody threatened him. So Stacey Wondra's not going to be able to claim later down the road that the officers had him in a little room, you know, bullying him into signing documents and everything else, just like he said when he told the officers when that, you know, leaked footage came out by Brandy Vaughan, where he talks about Michael being buried in the backyard, where he claims that he was pressured into giving up all of that information. You heard it right here. Nobody has threatened him. Nobody has pressured him. So he can't say, you know, and play that victim again here.
No. You got to say.
Well, he can, but he's saying here in court, no one did.
Yeah, out loud.
No, I have not.
Okay. I am finding that you are knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I am also signing it. I am directing the sheriff's office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No pending charges or anything in Arizona. None of that's going to stop. It's a 30-day period of time. He'll be going back to Idaho, read his rights, and none of the court documents are ready in Idaho. You can search for it. It's not available yet. It may or may not even be available to us, because we know that Stacey on several other little things has tried to keep the public from being able to see certain information. All right, so let's go back over here. So that is what is going on with Stacey Wondra. He's just waiting extradition. And we've got a few other things to talk about. We're going to talk about Stacey and Sarah's divorce real quick. We're going to talk about Brandon Shurtliff's court hearing that happened on November 4th. And then we are going to talk about Adrien Lucienne. All right. I have to keep going. There's a lot going on. I just want to dance in our seats. ICU became a member. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you for everything that you do everywhere with all of the creators. ICU, I thank you very much for becoming a Pacific Northwest Whisperer. All righty. It is so kind of everybody for joining. Vet Girl in the house. Nice to see you, hun. Really appreciate you being here. So many people have joined. Thank you all for coming in, for supporting Michael, for supporting the Vaughan family. You can click the pinned link at the top. It's for the Vaughan family meal train. If any of the moderators have Brandy's PayPal account or her Cash App account, would you please put that? You can also donate that way. And let's see what else. I did put up Michael Vaughan's Facebook group. If you want to click on that, join us over there. I post everything from my lives over there, so everybody gets to see the information firsthand. And then I believe somewhere up at the top, you can click it on the replay, watch it again. I did put in Michael Vaughan's project. If you want to donate any money to that, it's something very special that Brandy Vaughan wants to do for Monkey, some kind of park, something, just anything to really show love for Michael. Scotty Too Hottie is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we're going to keep going. Got a lot to go over. And like I said, I got a beautiful date with my grandbabies and I can't be late. So if it sounds like I'm rushing, that's why. All right. So Stacey Wondra filed for a divorce while he was in prison on unrelated charges and filed for that divorce. And Sarah Wondra received and was served with the divorce paperwork while she's also sitting in a woman's prison in another county in Idaho, and on unrelated charges of Michael Vaughan, and she will be there till 2026. So this is divorce without minor children. You know, he has tried to file for divorce and tried to threaten her with divorce several times, never followed through, never paid the money. But that's not what happened this time. He had help from somebody that I know and got help making sure she was served, got help from the court to help pay for fees, given money to help pay the fees. And Sarah Wondra is the respondent party. Stacey Wondra is the petitioner. Let's see. There's 1/27/2025. It's a new case. It's a divorce, no minor children, family law case information, motion and affidavit for free waiver. That is filing to help pay for things to be filed, order granting partial fee waiver. So the money waiver that he asked for was granted to him. Which is all good news, because guess what? If the divorce is completely finalized, then they can testify against each other in court. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Hold on one second. Vet Girl, thank you so much for $49.99 super chat. I really appreciate that so much. That's so kind of you. Job well done, Miss Sam. Prayers for what a long road ahead, but a justice road is a good thing, Miss Brandy and family. I appreciate you so much for that. Thank you so much. For being super. I appreciate you, hun. So I got kind of lost here. Let's see. Is this, went over that. This is a summons that was issued, family law joint temporary restraining order. So, yeah, a family law joint temporary restraining order. Not sure exactly what that is for. Sign that divorce paperwork ASAP, Vet Girl says, right? There's a summons, a certificate of mailing, notice of reassignment, acceptance of service, which is basically, you know, them accepting the service as far as serving Sarah Wondra in prison. And then in October on 10/9, a motion and affidavit for entry of default. We'll get into what the motion and affidavit is, but it was filed by Stacey Wondra. 10/9/2025, affidavit in support of default. 10/15/2025, the court clerk declares this case default. Let's get into what that is, what that means. This is just showing proof that everything was paid for. It only cost him a little over $200. Now, this is that affidavit, the motion that he had to file in its entirety. Again, everything gets posted in the Michael Vaughan Crimes Revisited if you'd like to take a look of what that affidavit actually is. But here's the explanation that to get a divorce by default in Idaho after the other party failed to respond. So Sarah never responded to the initial filings. You must file a motion and affidavit for entry of default with the court. The affidavit, a sworn statement, proves the other party was properly served with the initial divorce documents, but did not respond within the legal time frame. So Sarah got the paperwork, didn't respond within the certain time frame, and Stacey Wondra files a motion and affidavit for entry of default. Once the clerk enters the default, the case can proceed towards a default judgment, but this process may not be an automatic and could be delayed or not granted if the other party eventually decides to participate. Well, I was giving information. There's certain steps that have to be completed. Complete the affidavit, clerk enters the default, which means after you file the motion and affidavit, the court clerk could or will review the documents and officially enter the default, which is what has happened. Once the default is entered, you can proceed with finalizing the divorce. So that steps to that judgment. There's several different considerations to take in: the court's preference, the participating parties, the finalizing the divorce, specific forms, but mostly means that at this time, according to Sarah Wondra herself, here in this message, she says, let me get down, my divorce is going through by default. So she is saying that this divorce is going through. So I think I should be divorced soon. And I'll also share something else with you at the top of this text message that she sent, that she's giving excuses. She's given excuses about why she could not have kidnapped Michael Vaughan. She says, other than all this crap, I have been having some symptoms with my kidneys. They are hurting really bad. Also, my shoulder has been, have torn rotator cuff since 2015. I've dealt with this. I can't even put my hand behind my back anymore, and I have to have help with my bra every time because I can't pull it down in the back. These are her excuses. She's got a torn rotator cuff, she couldn't have. And, I'm not sharing the rest of the conversation that's up above all of this because I can't. But here she is talking about, I couldn't have kidnapped Michael because of my health issues, which a lot of us agree that she probably wasn't one of the people that tried to grab Michael. She is, overweight. So is Stacey Wondra. They weren't in the perfect health. We've heard that Brandon also got out of the car. Who knows which one did what? They all lie. It's all confusing. But she's really trying to deflect about the fact that she'd even be able to do something like that. But she is saying that she thinks that her divorce is going through by default. So this is huge. Stacey and Sarah are going to be able to testify against one another. And for any of you that don't know it, Idaho state laws will not allow Stacey or Sarah or Brandon or Adrien, if they are all arrested or whoever is arrested and charged with Michael's abduction and murder, to try to plead insanity. Because what they're going to do is they're going to send you off, just like they did Sarah Wondra before. They're going to send you off. They're going to fix you up, get you medicated, and get you ready back for court. You can't take that plea there. If you do, they're just going to, they're just going to send you somewhere to get all fixed up. You cannot plead the insanity deal. So if Sarah or Stacey or any of them think that that's what they're going to do, we even know that Adrien Lucienne at times has tried to convince people that, he's paranoid schizophrenic, or people think that he is because of how confusing that he talks and everything else. Well, that's just the game that he plays when people are talking to him about Michael's case, because he doesn't want people to believe that he is coherent and whatever. When I was contacted back at the beginning of the year in January, told that he was in Pennsylvania, applying for a job, going to school and everything else, this person I spoke to said that he came in perfectly fine, perfectly coherent. He was dressed, sharp dressed man for his interview, which if you follow any of his Instagram stuff, Facebook, or mostly Instagram stuff, he wants to design clothes. He's really big on designing clothes, dressing in style, and everything else. But you guys wouldn't think that after I show you some stuff today. So that is what we know right now about Sarah and Stacey Wondra's divorce. Stacey actually went through it. And let's add this to the stage. Okay. All the way down at the bottom, because this case with Brandon Shurtliff, goes all the way back to 2024, some charges even before that. And we know that he had court on November 4th. And we're going to go through what all of it was. You can see right here on 12/16 of 2024. So this is at the end of the year in 2024, affidavit and notice of failure to pay. Brandon had already had court hearings and everything for driving erratic and stuff, and he failed to pay. And then there was a notice of withdrawal of attorney on January 28th of 2025 here. There's his face. On 3/4/2025, so in March of 2025, Shurtliff's incident report, a warrant was issued, a bench warrant issued for Brandon. And we know he was picked up because we all talked about it right here on Missing PNW. We were all wondering, were they going to charge him with anything having to do with Michael while he was in jail? We were all very confused when he only serves the weekend and was out that next Monday. He was only in for the weekend when he did get picked up on that warrant. All of our minds were blown. We were just shocked. I know I was. So many people were like, "Are you serious, Sam? He got released?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he got released." And this is all in, oh my gosh, I can't ever remember. Kootenai, I think is how you say it, Kootenai County. And there are more charges that he has also in Canyon County. But on 4/18/2025, he had a video arraignment for that warrant after going to jail for the weekend. This is in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The defendant right there, Brandon Shurtliff. He was in court. The warrant was returned and it was served on 4/21/2025. That's when he was arrested for that warrant. 7/21/2025. This is in July, several months later. Affidavit in support of order to show cause. Probation, revocation, contempt. So in April, he was told he had to do a few things, and he didn't do all of the things he was supposed to do. So they found him in contempt. Motion to revoke probation. Probation violation. Court hearing was set for 9/18/2025 to admit or deny the violation. Now this is September, just this last September 18th, 2025. He had to admit or deny this probation violation. The hearing time was at 9 a.m. in the morning. These are just some of the financial stuff that needed to be paid for. And those things were paid back in 2024. This isn't even recently. Let's see. Hold on one second. I need to go back. Let me see. So, application for public defender. On September 2nd, he asked for a public defender. He was given a public defender. On September 5th, 2025, there is a notice of appearance, and on 9/11, there was a motion filed by his attorney to permit a remote participation at the court hearing. So he wanted to do via Zoom in court for this hearing to deny or plead guilty to this probation violation because he's chicken shit, doesn't want to go into court because he's afraid he's going to get arrested. Application for public defender went through. Order appointing state public. We just went through this. Sorry, I had that in there twice. 9/16/2025, the order permitting the remote participation at the hearing. So the judge says, okay, yes, we can do this via Zoom. And this is September 16th, 2025. And then on 9/18, probation violation, admit or deny. The hearing was held. It was via Zoom by the state of Idaho and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The defendant was, of course, Brandon Shurtliff. It showed the name of his attorney. Shows the court minutes, 9/18/2025, probation violation, admit or deny, notice of hearing, and then they file another hearing for an evidentiary probation violation. And that's what was scheduled for yesterday, November 4th, 2025. He had to come and show up for court, but it was evidentiary probation violation. The probation officer had to come in and prove that there was a violation. And that was at 10:30 yesterday morning. And then I've got to, let's see. He, on October 29th, so the day before Stacey Wondra was arrested down in Arizona, his attorney had filed a motion for a Zoom hearing, and the notice of the hearing was through, but it was denied by the judge. The filing was denied. And then there is a notice of filing under seal. We don't know what that is. There's confidential document that you cannot see here. And then probation violation. Let me find my paperwork on my phone because this is so small. Hold on one second. Trying to catch up on my phone here, Rose. Hold on. He turned into the court during the hearing yesterday, too, that he had completed the driving test, but Brandon Shurtliff was charged with a probation violation and is in jail. It doesn't give us any information about how long he's in jail for. And since he has other charges in Canyon County, I'm wondering if he will end up serving things there too. But Brandon Shurtliff for now is in jail on his probation violation. So that is how his court hearing went. I'm very thankful of it. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are excited to hear that news because Brandon Shurtliff doesn't deserve to be out running the streets thinking that, you know, he can keep getting in trouble, getting these slaps on the hand, his mommy getting him out of trouble constantly, and nothing's ever going to come of it. True Crime Tribe, thank you for joining. Thank you guys all for being here, for being so supportive. Click the link up at the top for the Vaughan Family Meal Train. Join our Facebook group. We've had so many members join today. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. I really do. I'm such a small channel, but I love what I do. Brandy Vaughn, thank you, Vet Girl, especially for your kind words and support through this entire time. Brandy is still in the house. She is watching everything. And I want to give you guys another update on somebody else that we haven't really talked about here lately. But damn, Adrien Lucienne does not look great. He went from sharp-dressed man in Pennsylvania back in January, February, March, and April to looking not so great, Adrien. What is up with you? Are you back to doing drugs? What is going on? Yeah, wow. When I saw this, I was like, what? Adrien Temple Lucienne was booked in St. Joseph County, Indiana, back in, what did I forget? It doesn't matter. It's right here. It was October 3rd. I kind of enhanced the picture a little bit so you guys could get a better look at Adrien. Doesn't look that great, you guys. Doesn't look that great. He's not still in jail. He was let out. Listen to all of this information, you guys. He's not currently serving, but he was arrested October 3rd, 2025 in Joseph County, Indiana. Adrien Temple Lucienne, St. Joseph County, Indiana, October 3rd, 2025 at 8:47. This is the mug shot that I keep sharing with you guys. This was his booking picture. We have Adrien Lucienne, 35 years old, 6'3", busted newspaper. Hair is black, eyes are brown, weight 180 pounds, kind of thin for somebody that's 6'3". Race is black male. He was arrested in South Bend Police in Indiana. And the charges were unauthorized entry of a motor vehicle. Defendant enters a motor vehicle knowing he does not have permission of owner, etc., to enter the vehicle. So what? Was he getting in the car to sleep in it? Was he getting into the car for what? Was he trying to steal a car? Doesn't really give any other explanations. But my beautiful, beautiful admin Heidi did find the court docs. The case numbers here, the court, St. Joseph Superior Court, filed on 10/4/2025, the day after he was arrested. The status is pending, reference prosecutor case management number, all of the good court stuff, information. State of Indiana. Parties to the case was defendant Adrien Temple Lucienne, State of Indiana. Unauthorized entrance of a motor vehicle. Case was opened as a new filing. Case was filed electronically. Appearance was filed. Probable cause affidavit was filed on 10/6/2025. Information filed, Adrien Temple Lucienne. Let's see, appointment of commissioner, referee, magistrate, promise to appear, filed 10/6/2025. He gets arrested on the 3rd. He has court on the 6th. He promises to appear back in court. The court date was set for, I believe, yes, it says right here, October 20th, 2025 at 8 a.m. This is just last month, you guys. He was in Idaho getting arrested. Just last month. And then notice of court filed. Adrien agrees to show up for court. Eligibility, discovery filed. Some of this I don't really know what it means. The hearing was on October 20th, 2025, and on October 20th, hearing journal entry, defendant failed to appear, arrest warrant ordered, and issued bond set at $250. Warrant or writ for the body a person issued. So Adrien Lucienne has a warrant for his arrest for not showing up to court in Indiana after he promised the court on October 6th that he would show up for that court hearing. They let him out. I am flabbergasted that they even would let him out. Didn't Indiana ever heard of Adrien Lucienne and who he was? I'm just saying that isn't really probable cause to keep somebody, but just saying. I want to see what chat has to say, but Adrien Lucienne, you cannot run and hide. Brandon, you cannot run and hide now either. We know exactly where you're at. You're in jail, Brandon. Woohoo! Super excited about that. But once again, Adrien's in trouble. Another criminal who keeps getting in trouble and let out of jail, just like Brandon. You know, just like Stacey Wondra. Stacey Wondra sits in prison. Footage comes out. He's talking about having knowledge of where. Why is my phone blowing up? Hold on a second. Okay, we're all good. Just got to keep an eye on it in case something big's happening. But, oh my goodness, what was I saying? I can't even remember what I was saying. Hello, Kelly Thomas. Rhiannon is here. Teresa is here. But they keep getting released. How can Stacey Wondra be released from prison after admitting having knowledge of Michael Vaughan being buried in his backyard? How? To me, that's almost admittance. He's saying he witnessed Sarah and Adrien burying him in the backyard, and yet he's still let out onto the streets. And then he's on the streets for X amount of time, going back for parole violation for the sentence that he just served that ended October 30th. Thank God he was arrested and will be charged for first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence as soon as he gets extradited back to Idaho. Huge, huge things are happening in Michael Vaughan's case, and it's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. We've all been waiting for something to happen. We've all been asking, when is somebody going to get arrested? When are they all going to start getting arrested? I've had people even say Brandy was a liar and she never talked to the DA and they were never going to make arrests. No, that wasn't a lie. They really were going to be charged early on, but so many new tips, so much new information kept coming out. Things were happening in the case. They had to take paperwork back away from the judge, fill more paperwork out. We've got one opportunity to charge these people, right? We have to do it right. That's why it has taken so very long to get where we are now. And Sarah, she's shitting her pants, you guys. She is shitting her pants thinking she's next. She is freaking out. I so agree with you, Vet Girl. The person that says things about this family needs to stop because, in my opinion, Ellie is determined, and in my opinion, more is to come. And you're 100% right. Fruitland, the FBI, all of the law enforcement agencies that have been working on this case have worked so very hard to get where we're at right now. The DA, Mike Duke, he's done an amazing job. This has been huge efforts on law enforcement and the district attorney to get this done. And the people that want to talk about the Vaughan family and talk about this case and spread their rumors and misinformation and do their lives and talk a bunch of court nonsense crap, get to the facts. The facts are Stacey Wondra is going to be charged when he gets back to Idaho and read his rights. The fact is Brandon Shurtliff is in jail. No, he did not turn himself in. Brandon Shurtliff got pulled over, had a warrant for his arrest, and was arrested. And now he's back in jail for not doing what he was supposed to do and got a probation violation. Now he's serving time for it. You can't keep committing crimes and getting away with it. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And Sarah shitting her pants in prison? Good. I'm glad she is. That's the feeling she should be having, knowing she has information about Michael Vaughan's abduction, knowing she had something to do with Michael Vaughan's abduction. She will also be charged. She said in her original affidavit when the warrant was served in November of 2022, when the cops came knocking on the door from the tip, that Stacey Wondra gave police that Michael was buried in the Wondra's backyard. Sarah herself, just like Stacey, admitted to having knowledge of Michael being in the backyard and said that God told her Stacey did it and he was buried in the backyard. She was arrested, and of course those charges were dropped, but they were without prejudice. She can still be charged for those things. Two people that live in that house have admitted to having knowledge of Michael being buried in that backyard. And now we know, because of the evidence, after Fruitland police went to the Wanderer's yard, excavated the backyard, sifted through the dirt in the backyard, found evidence that Michael was buried in the Wanderer's backyard and moved to an unknown location. Also finding evidence at the time inside the house. Those are the facts for the people in the back that want to keep spreading ridiculous rumors and spread misinformation, who want to talk bad about the police that have been working on Michael's case and say things like, I don't even want to get into it, you guys, okay? But the police are doing their job. They're not corrupt. And even though these people don't like to share what's going on with the suspects, they sure do keep doing it, because it does have something to do with Michael Vaughan. It's important to know that these criminals are still getting in trouble. Whether they're being arrested, whether they're getting warrants in Michael Vaughan's case or not, it's still proving that they're criminals, which is going to still build in Michael Vaughan's case to prove that they're criminals. Look at this, look at that, look at what they done here, look at what they done over there. That's all important. It all speaks of their character. And none of them have good character. Matter of fact, Sarah Wondra is a very violent person. Adrien Lucienne was arrested for entering a vehicle that wasn't his. Whether he was stealing it, getting in it to sleep or whatever, why is he in a vehicle he wasn't supposed to be in? That's criminal. And I'm betting it was to steal the vehicle, in my personal opinion. I don't know that for a fact, but why else would he be getting into a car? Come on. We are going to continue to fight. It doesn't matter if these suspects think that they're going to get away with it or not. We're here to support the family. We're here to show the world that we're not going to give up. We want justice for Michael Joseph Vaughan, our precious monkey, okay? And that's what matters. Us supporting Monkey, us supporting the Vaughan family. This isn't going to be easy. This could be going on for years and years and years. We're Monkey's army, and we're not going anywhere. Doesn't matter what anybody has to say about us. It doesn't matter if people want to talk about Missing PNW and the things that I say. I don't give two shits, because I'm telling you right now, in my Kyron Horman case that I work on, there ain't anybody uglier than the people that attacked me in that case, okay? There's not anybody out there that could ever attack me in any way than they have, and it's simple. Ignore the drama. Ignore it all. Don't get caught up in it. So don't listen to the misinformation. Don't spread the rumors. Go where there are facts. Go to Monkey Monday at the round table. Watch Wendy's beautiful videos that she does on Monkey for the family. Purple's always giving updates, talking about Monkey's case. She promised Brandy she was going to do Monkey Mondays, and she's been doing them for years. I'm truly blessed to have creators stand behind me, support me. I love everybody so very much. I'm so thankful for everybody that comes, shows up for the family, because I know how important it is and how much it means to the Vaughan family that everybody is here and constantly showing love for Monkey. Miss Sam, ma'am. They were wrong. They did horrible things to this family and kept doing it, then helped a bunch of psychos, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, they did. You know, they have convinced Sarah and Stacey Wondra that Tyler Vaughan was going to be charged with the abduction and murder of Michael. They have done nothing but attack the Vaughan family. And Chris Madonna went out and talked with Tyler, proved on one of his lives that he posted, or videos that he posted and put up, that there's no way Tyler could have been involved. Police stand behind the Vaughan family. They call themselves family. Brandy calls them family. The parents are not suspects, and had they been, they would be named. But the only people that have been named in Michael Vaughan's case is Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Adrien Lucienne, and Brandon Shurtliff. We've got 3 of the 4 sitting in jail, you guys. 3 out of 4. And yeah, 2 of them on unrelated charges to Michael, but how exciting to know that 3 out of 4 are off the streets. And if Adrien Lucienne is still in Indiana and didn't run once that warrant came out, because he knew it would, let's hope and pray he gets arrested on that, and all 4 sit in jail or prison or wherever, just off the streets. If you have any information about any of the 4 suspects, where they were, what they were doing on July 27th of 2021, the day that Michael Vaughan was abducted, please, please, please call Fruitland Police Department. Call that tip line 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. You could think it's the smallest, tiniest little thing ever, and you've been keeping it to yourself thinking that it's nothing. First of all, let law enforcement decide whether or not it's something of value, because you could be holding that very little, tiny little puzzle piece to put together the whole puzzle. It's important to bring any information. It could crack the case just 100%. Bring forward any information that you have. I'm just begging you. I'm begging you for the Vaughan family, for Monkey. Get it off your shoulders. Be Monkey's hero. And if you're scared, no. 2 of these people are sitting in prison. One of them sitting in jail. Police will protect you if they need to. Don't be scared. Go in and talk to Fruitland Police. Walk in the office with a friend. Do whatever it is that you need to do to bring that tip. Just get it off your chest and tell law enforcement what you know. Again, the telephone number for the tip line is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. I haven't heard any updates on Brandy, so I'm assuming everything's still going very well with her. She had her liver transplant. We heard her update. She's doing all the things that she can do to rest up at home, to heal, because it will be a long journey for her, and she's going to need to heal to be able to deal with all the court dates and everything else coming. Keep spreading Michael Vaughan. Share the case. Share his flyer. If you're in the Fruitland area, you can hang flyers. The best way to share him is on the internet. We are all a part of Monkey's Army. Everyone adds to it. We are all in this for the same reasons. The most important thing is because we care for this family. Everything else is just a blessing. We all. And I couldn't agree with you more, Purple. That is why we are here. Nothing else matters to us but supporting the family, being there for the Vaughan family, and getting justice for Michael. Work together in some way or another. Absolutely. Work together. Everybody knows. That's why I said earlier, any information from my live, you are more than welcome to share. That's why I'm telling you, go over to the Michael Vaughan Case Revisited Facebook group, because that's where I post my information, like my information on Adrien, Brandon, court documents that I receive, because I receive some of these court docs from other people. I had somebody today send me court docs. People see things on the internet. They know that it's out there. They send it to me. If I don't get it sent to me, sometimes I pay for it. Sometimes I can find it. But you have to share. That's what's important. Anybody can take anything from my channel and share it. A lot of creators already know me. They already know that I'm not in it for anything else other than the Vaughan family and bringing Michael justice. Brandy herself knows that. I would not want to be working on another case right now. Of course, I work on Chiron, but I'm just saying, it's so very important to get that awareness out and talk about it. I mean, there was something today that I saw on Facebook that I ended up sharing, and somebody even messaged me and told me, and I believe it was Brandy's sister, or maybe it was one of my moderators, that told me that something out on the internet had 67,000 views. And it had to do with Michael. They were talking about Stacey Wondra's arrest. So it's huge. All the creators need to be out there sharing all the information. I want to look through chat real quick. Let's see. Yes, Linda. Buggy wants to know where her brother is. That is a sad situation to even talk about. Just knowing that Buggy had to find out that Michael wasn't coming home and that he was in heaven. How hard is that for a 5-year-old little girl? Do they think that there is more involved? I know that law enforcement had suspected at one time that there could be. I think that they said there could be others involved. Is there others involved? I do not know. I'm not privy to any of that information. Thank you guys so much for being here. Always being so supportive with your monkeys, showing support for the family and Michael. Yes, Michael deserves to be brought home. The suspects, one or more of the suspects, know exactly, one of them being Brandon Shurtliff, where Monkey is, and it's time. It's time for him to tell the Vaughan family or law enforcement where Monkey is so he can come home and be laid to rest, so the family can mourn and have some peace and not wonder where he is. It has to be one of the most horrific things to just not know where or what or why. So devastating. Yes, Linda, you can also call 1-800-THE-LOST with any information you may have on these suspects and Michael Vaughan. Who's in Indiana, Angela? That would be Adrien Lucienne. Got arrested October 3rd in Indiana. He was in Joseph County, and it was for unauthorized entry of a motor vehicle. Know something, say something. Absolutely. Thank you, beautiful mods, for being here. Thank you, Vet Girl, for that huge super sticker today. I really appreciate that. And for everyone that became a new Missing PNW Whisperer, I appreciate you guys so much. Whether you're out lurking from the back, whether you just subscribe, become a member, just know I love you all so much, and I just appreciate you being here. I really do. I only work on 2 children's cases right now. I have worked on others, not many. It's one of the reasons why my channel is so small, but that's not what matters to me. What matters is, justice. Justice for any child missing. I don't know if it's the first arrest. I know he had a warrant for his arrest up by Washington, D.C., near Pennsylvania. I don't know if they ever got him on that. Did he run after other releases? Don't know. Why did he run on the new charge in Indiana? Well, probably because he didn't want to serve any time in jail. Did he run because Stacey's murder charge? No, because that came at the end of October, and none of the suspects knew anything about that. I mean, he was arrested on October 3rd, and Stacey Wondra wasn't charged until the 30th of October. Yes, Brandon. Brandon. Say something. Halo Art, we love you, Sam, and forever grateful for you and your beautiful heart. Well, thank you so much, Halo Art. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being a moderator and always being here. Rizzo, you know I appreciate you. Sally Clean in the house, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. What is it, Pinata? Thank you for coming in. All right, you guys. I wanted to just do a quick live. I've been here an hour and 35 minutes. I got 25 minutes to get across town so I can eat dinner and visit with my 2 grandbabies. And I'm super excited about that today. I'm working a full-time job right now, plus a YouTube creator, plus taking care of my husband right now. He's been going through some stuff, so I am very, very busy, but I will be here to update you on anything else that comes up. Let's see. Yes, prayers for the Vaughan family, and we love you. Thank you, Halo Art. Right? Stop using bus stops for your address. I was even told by the person he went in and applied a job for that it was a bus terminal for the address that she was given by him when he went in to fill out an application for work and do his interview. And like I said, he showed up like sharp dressed man. But then we have this, like, this isn't sharp dressed man, Adrien. Not at all. Like, Adrien, go talk to law enforcement. Tell them what you know. Tell them what you saw. Do what you need to do and brush your hair. Damn, brush that hair. We aren't going to stop. We're Monkey's Army. You have a good evening, too. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm about to play Opal's video that she made for Monkey. I'm going to share that to my screen and then end the live. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Have a blessed rest of your week. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
In the whispers of the wind we hear a name that echoes sharp and clear. Michael Vaughan, where did you roam? So many hearts await you home.
Fill up that
In
chat.
the whispers of the wind we hear a name that echoes sharp and clear. Michael Vaughan, where did you roam? So many hearts await you home.
Blue hearts and monkeys.
Where is Michael, playful and free, running in a world so wild with glee? Where's the laughter, where's the joy? Bring back home that little boy. Fruitland streets, they hold their breath, searching shadows since your last step. In the twilight, hopes don't fade, praying safe return without delay. In the whispers of the wind we hear a name that echoes sharp and clear. Michael Vaughan, where did you roam? So many hearts await you home. Where is was Michael, playful and free, running in a world so wild with glee. Where's the laughter? Where's the joy? Bring back home that little boy. Fruitless face, they hold their breath, searching shadows since your last step. In the twilight, hopes don't fade, praying safe return without delay. Every face, every glance, catching hope in every chance. I still search the endless night for signs of you in morning light. Every face, every glance, catching hope in every chance. I still search the endless night for signs of you in morning light.
Don't forget about Michael. Please, please do not forget about Michael. We haven't, and we won't stop until we bring him home and get justice for him. Please, please do not forget about Michael.
In the whispers of the wind we hear a name that echoes sharp and clear. Michael Vaughan, where did you roam? So many hearts await you home. In the whispers of the wind we hear a name
Thank you, Shannon.
that echoes sharp and clear. Michael Vaughan, where did you roam? So many hearts await you home.
A successful.
You guys so much for coming in. I appreciate you all. Love you guys. Have a good night.